Okay, can everyone hear me? Yes? Okay, good. Well, hello. So first I'm going to just talk about myself for a little bit, because I like doing that. So I'm Zibra Likhtab. It's not my real name, but it's how I'm known around here. So I'm on the Mysterium 2011 committee, and I helped organize all this. But I'm here because I'm the co-founder of 59 Volt Entertainment, and one of the developers and all that. So 59 Volt Entertainment is a game company which was founded in 2008, although only named earlier this year. But our main project thus far has been the Starry Expanse Project. Now, so for those of you who don't know, the Starry Expanse Project is based on the idea that everybody pretty much has played Real Mist, or at least all of you guys have. And pretty much everyone who plays Real Mist wants to play Real Riven. But you can't play Real Riven because Real Riven doesn't exist. Well, we aim to fix that, because the Starry Expanse Project is essentially Real Riven. So here's our goals. We have 3 humble goals. The first of which is to recreate all of Riven. Every single little detail, every rock, every cave, every building, all the people, all the sounds, everything. Recreate it. We want to make it fully explorable, real-time 3D, similar to Real Mist. We want to have no invisible walls. If you see a tree, you can wander up to the tree and look at the bark if you want. You can wander over the cliff and look out at the ocean, all that good stuff. And we want to make it prettier than End of Ages. So, should be easy. And so, I'm going to show you a little bit of what we have so far. My desktop is all messy. Just a sec. So this is Kavir. I have an email. And, and you can see some prettiness. Lamp is a little bright, but so this is obviously still a work in progress. Everything is subject to change. This is actually the second, maybe even the third iteration of Kavir that we've made thus far. But I like this one a lot, and I'm hoping that we're going to keep it. And the floor is nice and shiny and stuff. And yeah. So that's Kavir. And the bigger one is so this is a better example of what the game is actually going to feel like when you're playing it for real. So we've got various options, although not all of them work yet, but you can, yeah. So you can see we have Prison Island. And it's all animated, it's all working, so you can explore it pretty much fully. There's no sound yet, but we're working on that. So here's the prison itself, and as you can see, we've had to invent some of our own objects to put in here, since you don't ever get to see what's behind you in the original, but we feel like they fit pretty well with the theme. And we have Catherine modeled yet, but she's not animated yet, so she's not in here. So again, this is a work in progress, but we're pretty happy with how it's looking so far. And the dome works too. Oops. Just gotta hit it at the right time. There you go. Sorry for the spoilers if no one's played Riven yet. Obviously, we don't have any puzzles in here yet, but it shouldn't be that much harder to get those working. Yeah. So that's just a taste of what we have so far, and work is progressing. That's first PowerPoint. Okay. So I want to just tell you a little bit about our history. So we started in late 2008, like almost Christmas, with a very late night discussion about, hey, we could make Riven 2 years later. So our first idea was to make it in Blender and play it in Uru with the Plasma engine. And that worked for a little while, and if you go to our website, you can see early screenshots that were all done in Plasma. But various things came up, and we decided that Plasma wasn't really what we wanted. So, so then last year at Mysterium 2010, I gave another presentation which used Blender alone with the Blender game engine. And that was nice because it was free, and it was pretty good. It was better than Plasma, but it was still pretty glitchy. It was still really slow. The presentation I gave last year was running at about 3 frames per second on a good day. So we moved on from that as well. So today we are using Unity 3D for our engine, which is a really, really nice engine, and we like it a lot. And I'm hoping that it's going to be our final one that we use, so we don't have to switch again. And all sorts of different tools for modeling besides just Blender. And Unity is awesome. It's pretty and fast and stable, and it's extendable, so we can write our own plugins for doing things that Blender could not do by itself. And it supports all sorts of different programs that Blender doesn't necessarily. And it runs on Mac and Windows very, very well, and possibly Linux in the future. So we're hoping that the Linux people who don't like me very much for leaving Blender will be nicer in the future. And also it supports iOS, Android, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Wii, but those all cost extra. So those are future possibilities, not promises. But so what else have we accomplished with Unity? We've got weather in Riven, like rain and possibly snow, but I doubt snow because it doesn't seem very cold there. And a day and night cycle, similar to Real Mist, although better. And fancy water, and you can navigate however you like, which basically means that if there's a control scheme from a previous Mist game that you liked a lot, you can, for the most part, you can use that control scheme in our game as well, similar to how Mist 5 did it, but better again. So if you liked how Real Mist worked, you can play it like that with a box that you can navigate within. And if you liked how Exile worked, you can play like that with the different nodes that you can click to and stuff like that. The one that you can't do is the original Riven, where it's just static images, because if you really want to play Riven like that, then you can just play Riven. So, and there's tons of options, or there are going to be tons of options. So you can play exactly the way that you want. Oh, yes, okay. So I have a video of the day-night cycle. Very, very fast. But and it's there's a couple of visual glitches in this video, but you can just ignore them, like on the horizon, because those are fixed now. Just didn't have time to re-render the video. Yeah. So it's very nice. I'm very happy with it. It still needs a lot of tweaking, but it's getting there. And this is an image showing how we do the node setup, so you can see all of the different places you can click to if you just want to do click to move navigation. So this is who we are. Last year I didn't give any team credit, and I felt really bad about that. So this year I'm giving you the names of all the awesome people that work on this project, and some who used to work on this project. And one of them, Matt Sampson, is in the crowd right there, just so you can ask him questions too. So a lot of people have asked us how they can help us if they want to. And well, Unity Pro, which we're using, is not free, unfortunately. So all donations are appreciated. We have a big PayPal button on our website. And as a bonus, if you donate, then we'll put your name in the credits as a donator person. And also, we're looking for people to join our team, specifically sound experts, shader artists, and animators, people who have experience animating people would be nice. Because we only have one of those, pretty much. And for that or anything else, you can contact me at this address, zabe@starryexpanse.com. Oops. What is that? Okay. Ignore that. All right, so for more information, future updates, give us donations, or to sign up for the beta, you can go to our website at starryexpanse.com. And now I will take questions if people have them. I guess we should bring the lights back up so I can see. Yes?
Is there a current beta going on, or is that something?
I have another slide for that. So beta testing, it's coming eventually. Shut up. It's funny, actually, I was looking back through older posts on our website, and I found one from like July of 2009 saying like, before August, we're going to have a beta running. And like, no. I'm no longer saying beta's coming soon. I'm going to say like, eventually. It is coming, and you will all be in it if you sign up. But yes.
That how far done would you say the whole project is?
I don't feel at liberty to say how done we are. Modeling-wise, we're very far along, and we've got some great artists who can really just crank out the ages and stuff. Like Prison Island there was done in like 2 weeks. Like just mind-boggling speed from these guys. So I'm not that concerned about getting it finished. Like it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be relatively soon. Like it's been going on for 2 years, but we've been working on and off and very slowly, and we're speeding up now. So it's gonna get there. Yes?
Are you gonna add like any secret stuff, like how I'm doing this, they added rhyme?
I don't think we're going to be doing anything as drastic as rhyme, but we do intend to have some extra areas where they make sense. Like, well, I don't want to promise anything because we've gotten a lot of suggestions, but yeah, we do intend to have extra areas, and we do intend to also let you disable those areas if you don't want our contributions. You just want what Cyan intended in the game, then you can play it like that. We've got what's called purist mode, where you can just turn off all of the extra stuff and play Riven as it was meant to be played. As it was meant to be played. Because this is how it was meant to be played. Yes?
On that note, are you planning on putting the Easter eggs for the original game will work in there, or not?
Yeah, I'd say that we probably intend to have the original Easter eggs working, or at least some parallel of those. I don't know, what the copyright issues are and that, but yeah. And there's going to be Easter eggs.
Everything is kind of a wireframe. How would you just skip that, or would you do that?
No, we'd find a way.
Oh.
We'd find a way. Yeah.
We have a question from Freckwater. Are you collaborating with Cyan?
So Cyan is a big issue for us. We have not yet contacted Cyan at all about the project. We know that they're aware of us, and we do intend to send them a formal proposal for making this game, basically, and to get their approval and their full consent for our work and stuff like that before we release it in any fashion. So before even beta starts, we want to get Cyan's approval. But we haven't yet contacted them because we didn't yet have a demo that I felt was satisfactory enough to show Cyan. Now we're much, much closer to that. So it's getting to the point where we could start talking to Cyan about what they feel about our project. The last thing we heard from them was like 2 years ago or something, or maybe a year and a half. And they basically said that they did not think that we could pull this off, so they weren't worried at all. So I don't know how they feel now, now that they can see that we can do it. Last year I announced that we do intend on selling the game and giving all of the money to Cyan, which hopefully will make them a little more receptive to the idea of the game being made. But that's all I can say about Cyan right now. They're not officially or unofficially involved in any way right now. Yep.
Have you thought about any distribution methods?
We have thought about some. Steam would be nice, or I don't know how it's going to work with the payment. If we're going to be giving all the money to them, then I don't know if they have a way that they would want to distribute it. And I mean, they're obviously on Steam, so they know how to do that. And I think you have to pay money to be on Steam. We're kind of short on funds, so I don't know how it's going to work. But yeah, we haven't thought that much about it yet, because we're not really there yet. Anything else? Yep.
For some of the more complex, how are you planning on doing some of the more complex interfaces, like with the marble grid and the survey islands with the 3D map thing?
Well, we have, let me see if I can pull it up actually. We actually have a technical demo of how we're going to be doing the pins, or at least one idea for how we're doing the pins. If I can get an internet browser running, then I'll show you. We haven't thought that much about the marble grid, but it doesn't seem like it'll be that difficult. I mean, I would assume it's just have a camera facing the grid and have draggable beads. I mean, I'm more worried about doing sliders and stuff, but none of it's going to be a problem. We know how to do all of it. So, Vimeo.com. A little shameless advertising for Uru Obsession in the meantime. Just see if I can remember the password. I can take another question while I'm loading this, if there's more. Or else I'll just load this and be quiet. Yeah, there we go. And all of these videos are available on our website as well. So I don't know how much of this is actually going to show, but this is basically how it's going to work when it loads. If it loads. Let's do a YouTube one. Yeah, the internet is not great here, unfortunately. So this is just an idea of how it would look. It's basically like a plane that's being deformed, and then we just use really fancy bump mapping to make it. And I'm sure that the artist who made this is going to tell me that I did it wrong, I explained it wrong, but yeah. So we have that one worked out. And we're pretty confident that it will run well in real time. We're pretty confident that the whole thing will run well in real time. Now, so far, I haven't seen that much lag at all, which is great coming from the 3 frames per second in Blender. And we have low-end machines that we're going to be testing it on to make sure that everything is still working in some fashion. And if there's parts that are slowing you down, you can just disable them. Like real-time shadows you could turn off, or this is the day-night cycle. We've got like a low-resolution version of that so that you can still have a day-night cycle even if you can't have shadows and all that good stuff. We're trying to make it run on as many machines as possible because we want everyone to play it. So anything else? Any other? And you can always just approach me and ask a question if you want. Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't see you.
You're talking about lag. What machine you want?
Well, this is my main test machine, which obviously is not a very good one for testing lag because it's pretty powerful. But yeah, but we have older, more ancient technology that we can test it on as well. And I think we've been keeping tabs for the most part on our shaders and making sure that they don't use they use features that are only available on new machines, but that they have backup features for older machines as well, like fallbacks and stuff like that. So everything will still look, decent on an old, like a 2004 machine or something like that, or older than that. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to make it run on as many machines as possible, and we plan on testing it on as many machines as possible, which is part of why we've got the beta tests coming up eventually, someday. Hopefully before 2020. Yeah, we intend to have it run on as many places as possible. Anything else? Yes?
What area of the age would you say is most complete at this point?
Well, Prison Island is, I mean, yeah, we have, Prison Island is, almost complete at this point. It looks awesome. It's scripted. It's, it's working. We've got a lot of Temple Island. I showed a lot of Temple Island last year, and it's still, nearing completion. We're we're actually currently redoing the terrain on Temple Island to make it more accurate because we weren't very satisfied with the accuracy that we had last year. But the new method that Matt came up with actually gets us like precision down to like the inch of like accuracy, and uses triangulation from Riven screenshots, and it's incredible. I would have never come up with it on my own, and it's very accurate. And then besides that, we have one person working on Survey Island, and that's coming along quite nicely. And Boiler Island is almost done as well, but it might be redone. But it'll only take a couple weeks because the model is amazing. We have a rough of 233, and we have Tay, which is awesome. And I'm not showing you guys. And besides that, unless I'm forgetting something. Oh, I'm forgetting Jungle Island. Of course I'm forgetting Jungle Island. Because I don't want to think about Jungle Island. Jungle Island is not really started yet, but that's because I have nightmares about Jungle Island. But I'm not too concerned about it because I think we'll be able to handle it. But it's probably going to happen last because it's just so big. Yeah. But it's coming along. It's coming along. Yes.
What do you have to do for voices for characters?
So we haven't addressed the sound issue yet because we're hoping that when we talk to Cyan and they give us the go-ahead to make the game, they'll also give us the go-ahead to use the sounds from the original, so that we won't have to worry about re-recording, hundreds of sound effects and voices and all that. And I'm hoping that they still have like clean copies of the dialogue, so that we don't have to like try to edit out music and stuff. But failing that, we would probably have to find some voice actors who are willing to work for free or get some more money to pay them. And the same goes for the background music and just sound effects in general. We have had a couple people approaching us saying that they would be interested in recreating the music. So far, I don't think we've found anybody who has stuck around for long. People tend to be like, "Yeah, I want to help," and then they just kind of leave. But we have a really good team right now, and we're looking for sound people, like I said, in here. So if you're like working with sound, please let me know. And yes, and for the Cyan stuff, we're hoping that they'll let us use other things too, like textures or things. But again, it's not that much of a problem if they don't. We just want their consent to make the game at this point. So if anyone has questions later, you can just come up and ask me, and I'll be happy to answer them. Or Matt, I guess. He's good for that too. And also, if you want to play the game, at least what I showed today, you can do that as well. I'll have my computer running the demo that I just showed, so you can try it out for yourself. And hopefully eventually we'll have 2 machines running it, but you have to work that out too. Yes?
We have a question from NM64. How concerned are you about frame rate versus level of detail? Would you be more willing to go with more first detail and more frame rate?
Well, we're hoping that, we know that we'll have adjustable quality, so that if you're not getting good frame rate and you'd rather have good frame rate, you can bump down the texture quality and stuff like that, so that it'll run faster. I think in general we would try to get a good balance of both, but because otherwise you're just looking at static Riven, and you might as well just play the original Riven. Yeah.
How does performance compare with Uru, for instance?
Well, Uru is a lot. Don't throw rocks at me or something. Uru is a lot lower quality than what we're going for here. It's not nearly as sophisticated. I'm just saying that Uru is not necessarily something you can compare it to. Uru currently, yes, Uru runs faster, but it's also not as pretty. So, and I don't know if anyone saw when I launched one of the demos here, but you get a little graphics quality setting here, and you can just put it on fastest if it's not running fast enough, and you can, and it'll be lower quality, probably not have anti-aliasing. I've actually never tried it on fastest, I don't know what happens. And it looks identical pretty much, so, yeah. I don't really see any differences, but I'm sure there's something different. Yeah, maybe it's not doing bump mapping. I don't know. Yeah, I guess the textures are a little lower quality there. Hopefully no one will have to run it like this, in this horrible, horrible state. because so far, from what I've seen, Unity is extremely good at performance. So, you know, and we're paying for it, so we're paying for performance, really, that Blender just does not have. But yeah, adjustable quality, that sort of thing. Yes?
Sorry, are you planning on doing any like other similar stuff, maybe original stuff after doing that?
We have discussed other things. There was a while where we were working on a entirely separate and completely unrelated game, which I'm not going to talk about because we might still be doing it. But and it's entirely not Mist-like at all. But it was pretty much to make money for us before we had the PayPal button. But now that we have the PayPal button, we don't really need that. But we've talked about if, you know, Cyan, for some reason, decides not to give us approval to make this game, we have other ideas of stuff that we could be doing and things that would hopefully appeal to, you know, you guys and that sort of thing. Because we would like to make original games. And the thing everyone always asks is, when you're finished with this, are you going to do Exile? And no, I don't think we are, because I just want to think about doing Adana. But maybe we will. I don't know. That's years and years and years in the future. So, but yeah, I think we plan on sticking around once this is done. We do have, you know, a company now, so it's not officially incorporated or anything, but 15 Involved Entertainment. I guess I should say that the logo was made by Matthew Munzer. He's a pretty cool guy. If you want to hire him for graphic design, he's cool. Yeah.
Trevor wants to know if you would go to school behind Bloomsburg.
I'm not at liberty to discuss whether or not you'll be able to leave the lab in 233, because, yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. But people keep wanting it. I forget who it was. Somebody wanted us to add like a linking book outside to 234, and it's like we're not gonna make 234. That's overstepping our bounds. But possibly.
And OHB is asking if you repeat everything you asked about.
Normally no, but for OHB, no. Oh, by the way, OHB, who runs the Uru localization project, I just think of it as the HULP, so I don't remember what it stands for. But if you go on that site, there's also the same thing for Riven. So we're currently working on translating all of Riven into every language in the world, pretty much. And I think Russian and something else are the farthest along. So you'll be able to play Riven in Russian if you want, with subtitles, and any other language, hopefully, including Klingon, I saw on there. If you want to, I don't know. And that's coming along really well, and OHB is awesome for letting us use this framework for translation. So if you speak another language, you should go on that website and contribute, because it would be awesome. Anything else? Yes?
Have you gotten all the new texts from Riven for the Starry Expanse?
Well, I think in Temple Island, on the temple walls, I think that we have those. I mean, we haven't encountered any in Prison Island, because there isn't any in Prison Island, but I think that we're going to need somebody's help for that, since none of us know Dunny, and I know you guys gave a presentation on it, so probably going to count on you guys to do that. But, yeah, we intend on not having typos and grammatical errors and stuff like that. Although, I don't know if there are any typos or grammatical errors in the original, and if there are, then I don't know if we'd be replicating those. Like, we've talked about glitches in the original game, and should they be recreated in our game, or should they be fixed in our game? And we're not entirely sure. It's like, you know, maybe there'll be like a checkbox for show glitches or don't show glitches. I don't know. But there's lots of questions like that come up, and we have to figure out how to get around them. Just stuff that would be impossible. Yeah. Yes?
I actually read the elevator text, the golden elevator in the bottom of
Right, yeah.
I heard that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it was. It was literally, it was the translation in English of In Again We Trust, and they just, yeah, but it was with one of them else too. They pretty much just took the English letters and wrote it with the Diddy equivalents.
Yeah, so I mean, I assume that for stuff like that, we will be, recreating it as it was in the original and not fixing it, because I don't know how. Do we know how to say "in we trust"? I don't. He would know. But I think for the most part, we're going to be recreating it exactly as it was. So worst case scenario, we can just push the keys until we find the right character and just do that until it looks right. Yeah, but we'll find someone who knows how to read Dunny and who can tell us what it says and stuff like that. Anything else? Yeah.
How do you are there going to be loading screens between the islands, or is this all just made those?
Yes, there probably will be. We haven't entirely discussed that because back. Let me just process for a sec. So Prison Island is the first one that we've done with Unity Pro tools, and with Unity Pro you can do asynchronous loading, so you can load stuff in the background and stuff. So we haven't done any work in the islands since getting background loading working, or since getting the ability to do background loading. I would assume that if it doesn't cause lag, we will be doing background loading, so there won't be any load screens. But thankfully, if we do have to have load screens, Cyan has nicely given us places where people are used to having to stop, at least if you're playing the CD version. So we'll have load screens there or something. And, it'll be like playing the classic one. Yeah, it'll be like the little thing will pop up and say, please insert the disc, and it'll be nice. It'll just be another way that it can be more accurate to the original, I guess, if you look at it that way. We're going to ship it to you in 5 separate downloads that you have to. Yeah. Yes?
You can't take out the one in the Golden Dome where you go between the islands.
On
That would drive me nuts every time.
On the bridge, you mean? Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll have background loading, so you won't have to. Yeah. But and. Yeah. Yeah. It's. Yeah. And the other thing is that we have 20 days. Jesus. Okay. No one break my computer. I don't have any backups. What was I saying? Oh yes. So, no, I lost it again. What was the question? Oh, the bridge. Right, the bridge. We have level of detail changes, so that hopefully when you see the islands in the distance, they'll actually be there, but they'll be really low quality. And as you get closer, those ones become higher quality, and those ones become lower quality, and we won't actually have to do that much separate loading because it'll just all be there, just in lower quality, and then it'll bump up as you get closer. Hopefully not in a way that you'd notice, but yeah. Yes.
Speaking of not backing up your computer, you guys have some kind of
yes.
online storage.
We use Subversion repositories for. It's all backed up, and yeah, don't worry about that. We've got plenty of redundancy and good stuff like that. It's very slow, but it works. And one of our teammates wants to re-implement Subversion because he doesn't like how it works. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let him do it, I guess. I don't think I can stop it. But yeah, it's all backed up. It's all secure. We're not going to lose anything. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. And worst case scenario, I have the Dropbox folder that the project started in back in 2008. So worst case scenario, we just lose 2 or 3 years of work. Not a big deal. All right. Any other questions? Yes. What? Is it Trek Lover again?
No.
Okay. Okay, the other one.
The thing is asking, going back and load, you pre-render all your assets.
Wait, pre-render all of the assets?
Take all your assets and pre-render them in HD.
So you can, so you can play like the original Riven but HD. I mean, it's possible. I don't particularly want to play it like that, so I don't know if I want to implement it. But I mean, theoretically, it wouldn't be that hard to do that. But if you pre-render it, then you won't get like moving water and moving clouds and day and night time. Like one of the things that we were thinking about when we were talking about implementing, day and night and rain and stuff like that is like the original Riven didn't have it, but is that because Cyan didn't want it, or is it because it would mean rendering twice as many images? Like, it's difficult to say for that sort of thing. So, I mean, if you really want to, I guess we could, if people really want that and are willing to give us some money to do it, then we could probably make a pre-rendered version, I guess. It would be huge. It'd be like many gigabytes of stuff, but yes?
Does that mean Tay is going to have a day?
I hadn't thought about that. I mean, Tay is very cloudy though. Like,
You're only there for a short time.
well, yeah, but you can go back. You can always go back. You don't get over to the Hive, but you can go there. I mean, it's very cloudy, so I don't know if you would really notice if it's daytime there, but, and who knows what the day and night cycle is like on Tay, but yeah, I would assume that if we have it for Riven, we're going to have it for Tay. And 233, I guess. I don't know. Was that your question? Okay. Sorry for answering your question before you could ask it. All right. Anything else? Anything else from Cyan Chat or live stream or anything? I should go to my. Just let me run through the comments on Starry Expanse because they were some people who asked questions in there and I said I'd answer them. Yeah, we're 73% funded. It's pretty nice, but we need some more money. So please, this button right here. It's right here. It's this one. Just in case you missed it, it's right here. This one right here. Okay. Little test. Yeah, it's gonna be good. There you go. Ta-da! See? It's big and yellow. You can't miss it. Already answered that. So marketing. Hadn't thought about marketing. Well, we're obviously not there yet. This is the most marketing that we've done thus far. We plan on doing some sort of little grassroots campaign soon, but not anything major. I don't think we're going to be like, putting trailers and movies and stuff like that. I mean, and again, it depends on what Cyan says about it, because if Cyan gives us some marketing channels to use, then I'd love to use them. I don't know what Cyan has available to them, but it seems like they're mostly word of mouth as well. Of course, if we could get Cyan to post something about it on the website or tweet about it, then it'd reach a lot more people. Because somehow these things don't seem to reach that far. It seems like they would. But, beta testing opening soon. Blah blah blah. Yep. Okay. I guess that's all. All right. Anything else? No? Okay. Well, if you think of something later, just come and ask, and I'll answer it.